Welcome to the 2020 Queensland Literary Awards ceremony here at State Library of Queensland. My name is Sarah Konoski, and along with Richard Feidler, I present conversations on ABC Radio. One of the great pleasures of that role is the quantity of reading I need to do, and so I'm honoured to be part of this celebration of the rich diversity of writing talent we have here in Australia. It's my pleasure to be your MC this evening. Sincere thanks to the Nunukul Yuggera Aboriginal dancers who recently performed for State Library's spoken exhibition. Thank you for your vibrant dance to open tonight's awards. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we are gathered tonight, all around the country. I'm speaking to you from the State Library of Queensland, which sits beside the Brisbane River. I acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples and their continuing connection to land and as custodians of stories for millennia. I offer my respects to these elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the elders of all First Nations who join us tonight. Tonight is a little different, yes, but the Queensland Literary Awards are still here in the beautiful State Library, and we're ready to celebrate outstanding writers. I'm delighted to welcome you, wherever you are watching from across the state, around Australia, or from other parts of the world. The Queensland Literary Awards is a very special awards program each year that has its early days in a community-driven program led by writers and readers. The awards are made possible by the support of the Queensland Government, sponsors and philanthropists. It's a pleasure to celebrate with you all this evening. This year, State Library invited nominations from published and unpublished writers across 11 categories. I invite State Librarian and Chief Executive Officer Vicky McDonald to deliver her message of support for the Queensland Literary Awards.
Gumbadaroo. State Library of Queensland proudly manages the Queensland Literary Awards in collaboration with sponsors, industry partners and the writing community. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our sponsors and guests watching this evening. It has certainly been an unusual year. I hope wherever you are watching this ceremony tonight, you and your loved ones are safe and well. Usually, the Queensland Literary Awards are announced at a ceremony here at State Library. Sadly, that is not possible this year. But it has been a real joy to welcome people gradually back into our beautiful library. This evening is a celebration of literature and of writers new and established. I would like to offer my thanks to the judges and the way they adapted to new processes in the early months of the year. My sincere thanks to our category sponsors for their generous support. The Queensland Government through Arts Queensland, the Copyright Agency Cultural Fund, the University of Queensland, Griffith University, the University of Southern Queensland, Ian and Susan Mackey of the Hocking Mackey Fund at the APS Foundation, and Jenny Summerson. Congratulations to all the writers shortlisted for tonight's 11 awards. I look forward to celebrating the winners this evening and welcoming you to the State Library soon.
To begin the official awards presentations, I now welcome the Honourable Anastasia Palaszczuk, Premier and Minister for Trade, who will announce the winners of the Premier's Awards worth a total of $50,000.
Good evening. Whenever something unbelievable happens, people say, "You wouldn't read about it." Hasn't that been the story of 2020? Just like everything else, we're celebrating Queensland's Literary Awards in a dramatically different way. But the commitment to shine a light on the achievements of great writers remains exactly the same. Our government is passionate about supporting these creative thinkers, and tonight we honour writers young and old, established and emerging, those who are published and those on their way to writing their very first masterpiece. The Queensland Premier's Young Publishers and Writers Award honours those under 30 who are working hard, taking risks and making a positive impact on the community. The Queensland Writers' Fellowships offer support for early and mid-career writers to devote time to producing their next book. And I'm very proud to support tonight's top prize worth $25,000. The Queensland Premier's Award for a work of state significance rewards an outstanding book highlighting a uniquely Queensland story or a work by a Queensland author raising the profile of writing in our state. Congratulations to all of those shortlisted authors and the judges who had the tough task of picking the recipients. Thank you also to the State Library of Queensland for its continuing commitment to showcasing, supporting and celebrating writers. It's exactly at these times when the world seems upside down that we need our storytellers to capture it and interpret it and ultimately help us understand it. I wish you a successful 2020 Queensland Literary Awards. We can't wait to find out how the story of 2020 turns out.
The finalists for the Queensland Premier's Award for a work of state significance are Heartland, How Rugby League Explains Queensland by Jo Gorman, published by UQP. A superbly written and compelling insight into the game of rugby league and the role it plays in Queensland's identity. Meet Me at Lennon's by Melanie Myers, published by UQP. A compelling work of fiction with a strong female cast that provides an insight into wartime Brisbane. Stone Sky Gold Mountain by Mirandi Riwo, published by UQP. With lucid, crisp prose, this is an engaging tale of outsiders and an accomplished work of literary fiction. Hearing Maud by Jessica White, published by UWA Publishing. Both memoir and biography, this is an intriguing and revealing insight into the challenges of being deaf in a hearing world. The Queensland Premier's Award for a work of state significance goes to Jo Gorman for Heartland, How Rugby League Explains Queensland.
Hey guys, just want to say thank you to the judges for this award. Also want to thank my publisher UQP and the Tom Brock Bequest, which provided a scholarship which helped me write and research this book. I'm very proud that a book about rugby league has been recognised in this way by the Queensland literary community. And finally, I just want to say thank you to my mum and dad, who have always been a massive support to me, and to my partner Rose, who's up here with me in Cairns. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you, Premier, and congratulations on your marvellous win, Jo. I actually interviewed Jo a few years ago about his book on soccer, so I'm glad he's finally writing about proper football. Queensland-based publishers and writers up to the age of 30 were invited to submit applications for the next award, the Queensland Premier's Young Publishers and Writers Awards. Tonight we recognise a shortlist of 4 outstanding writers and publishers who are making a name for themselves in the literary community. Congratulations to the 4 finalists. Sarah El Sayed moved from journalism to creative writing, which has led to shortlistings, national publications, and a contract with Black Ink. She is one to watch. Writing poems crafted from small observations, moments, rituals, and edges, Zenobia Frost also demonstrates thoughtful engagement and unyielding support for poetry in Queensland. Ellen Wengert epitomises an incredible commitment to establish herself while working and studying, and the judges have no doubt her larger works will appear on bookshelves soon. An accomplished, focused writer, editor and publisher, Yen Rong Wong is the safe pair of hands, gently pulling the rug from under us, shaking it out and making changes. The Queensland Premier's Young Publishers and Writers Awards go to Zenobia Frost and Yen Rong Wong.
Wow, thank you so much to the judges. Thank you to the Queensland Government through Arts Queensland. This is life-changing. I'm hugely grateful. Thank you so much for this time to write. And until then, see you on the flip side when we can finally safely gather back at SLQ and all hit those famous QLAs, hors d'oeuvres. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you.
I'm honoured to receive this award. Thank you to the judges, the State Library of Queensland and the sponsor of this award, the Queensland Government through Arts Queensland. I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate my fellow shortlistees, Sarah, Zen and Ellen. I can't wait to read more of their work and see what they do next. A very special shout out to Rachel Ung, my former art director at Penciled In, whose work never ceases to astound me. Thank you to everyone who's encouraged me to keep writing. There are too many of you to name, but you know who you are. Specific thanks to Lauren Mitchell and Alex Patterson for always being there for me, even though we now live hundreds of kilometres apart. And to Shuling Chua and Wendy Chen, who have always been my biggest cheerleaders. Thanks must also go to my amazing group of Brisbane writer friends, in particular Laura Elvery, Mirandi Rawo, Mindy Gill and Shastra Dio. Massive thanks to my partner Josh for his constant support and love. And finally, thank you to all the Asian Australian writers who have paved the way for me. I just hope I'll be able to do the same for the next generation of Asian Australian artists and creators.
Thank you, Premier, and congratulations, Zenobia and Yen Rong. Congratulations to all winners in the Premier's Award categories. Next, we'll reveal the recipients of the Queensland Writers' Fellowships. These are supported by the Queensland Government through Arts Queensland and the State Library of Queensland, and by Susan Hocking from the Hocking Mackey family. The quality of applications this year was extremely high, and judges noted how encouraging it was to read about so many impressive projects. 3 Queensland writers each receive a $19,500 fellowship to develop new work. I welcome the Honourable Leanne Enoch, MP, Minister for Environment and the Great Barrier Reef, Minister for Science and Minister for the Arts, to speak about these wonderful fellowships. Sincere thanks to the Hocking Mackey family for their generous support as well.
Hello, my name's Leanne Enoch. I'm the Queensland Minister for the Arts. Let me begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands that we all gather on today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And congratulations to the winners and finalists in the 2020 Queensland Literary Awards, which recognise outstanding writing from Queensland and across Australia. The Palaszczuk Government proudly supports this vibrant literary initiative that each year shines a light on a wide range of talent from emerging to well-established writers. These awards are presented across a range of genres and contribute greatly to the rich arts and cultural landscape of our state. The Palaszczuk Government is committed to investing in Queensland Writers' Fellowships, which enable local writers to dedicate themselves to new projects over a 12-month period to help progress their careers. Fellowship recipients publish new work in the years after their wins as a direct result of the support they have received from the Queensland Literary Awards. This has been an incredibly difficult year for artists, as the arts and cultural sector globally has been severely impacted by the effects of COVID-19. The Palaszczuk Government is implementing more than $42.5 million worth of relief measures to support the sector in Queensland, including a $22.5 million arts and cultural recovery package as part of our plan for economic recovery. The arts provide hope during uncertain times, and I know that in the months and years ahead, our writers will continue to tell our diverse stories and inspire, challenge and delight us through their writing. Congratulations to all finalists and recipients of this year's Queensland Literary Awards.
Hello, I'm Susan Hocking, and our family proudly funds a Queensland Writers' Fellowship. Together with my husband, Ian, and our children, I particularly wanted to support a mid-career writer. We're passionate about literature and the positive impact books can have on society, but on top of that, we were very aware also that being mid-career can be an uncertain time in an author's life. So our hope is that by funding this fellowship, we'll provide a writer with the encouragement they need to keep going. Thank you to everyone who submitted fellowship nominations this year. And on behalf of our family, congratulations to all tonight's winners, and I wish you all the very best as your careers progress.
The winners are Sarah El Sayed for The Blind Pussycat. Her engaging, addictive and accurate work makes space for others to see themselves in the stories we love to read. Anna Jacobson for Anxious in a Sweet Store. Anna Jacobson's poetry is ambitious, intelligent and takes risks, revealing truths about minds, hearts and worries. Amanda Niehaus for Relativity. Balanced on the edges of prose and poetry, Amanda Niehaus's writing embraces an unapologetic commitment to the science of climate change.
Thank you to the Queensland Government and Arts Queensland for making this fellowship possible. I'm truly thrilled to be a recipient this year. This project, The Blind Pussycat, is inspired by some of the wonderfully difficult women in my life and my family. Thank you to my grandmother, my nana, for being a constant source of inspiration to me always. Thank you to my parents for encouraging my writing and my work. Thank you to my siblings, Muhammad and Aisha, for making sure my head never gets too big. And thank you to my partner, Aaron, for all of your love and affirmation. Thank you as well to Maxine Beniba Clark. Growing up African in Australia changed everything for me. Thank you to Rowan Wilson for your mentorship and guidance, to Robert Watkins for your encouragement and kindness since reading the first few pages of this project, and thank you to Sophie Williams and Julia Calamagno for your ongoing support of me and for seeing something in me in those early days. I'm truly, truly grateful to be sharing this moment with you all.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I live, write, work and create, the lands of the Yuggera and Turrbal people, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I am so grateful this fellowship will help support the development of my second full-length poetry collection, Anxious in a Sweet Store. Thank you to my incredible mentor, Felicity Plunkett, who will help mentor me on this project with the support of the fellowship. Thank you to my family and friends for your love, understanding and support. Thank you especially to my ever-patient mum for being there for me through the tough times. Anxiety is a tricky beast, and I know it hasn't been easy. I'm looking forward to furthering my ideas around anxiety from my experience and observations. Thank you to the sponsor, the Queensland Government through Arts Queensland.
6 years ago, I was still working as a scientist and I took my first online writing class in fiction. I didn't know then what a story was or how it worked, and I never imagined that I'd write something as long and hopefully coherent as a novel. Yet here I am, accepting this fellowship to write not my first, but my second novel, having somehow figured out how to do this thing well enough that you're actually giving me money to do it. Thank you to the Queensland literary community for supporting me and encouraging me since early days. Thank you to my husband Robbie and my daughter Nell for giving me the time to write and such great material that I never ever use in my books. And thank you so much to Susan Hocking and Ian Mackey and their family for enabling this incredible fellowship so that I can write this book called Relativity about love and life and science. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sarah, Anna and Amanda, and our best wishes for your exciting projects. Thank you, Minister Enoch, for your kind words and support, and thank you, Susan. The next prize is the Glendower Award for an Emerging Queensland Writer. This award is open to emerging Queensland writers for an unpublished manuscript. The winner takes home $15,000 and has their manuscript published by UQP. This year, 5 outstanding unpublished manuscripts were shortlisted. The Glendower Award is made possible by the generous support of Jenny Summerson through the Queensland Library Foundation.
Hello. My name is Jenny Summerson, and through our family trust, the Glendower Fund, we support the Glendower Award for an Emerging Queensland Writer. I have loved reading all my life. My father was a commercial printer, and he and I would spend many hours proofreading at night. I love the romance of the printed word and where a book can take you while reading. Books remain a joyful part of my life, and I will be telling my grandchildren about these books in the hope that they too may come to love reading as I do. My family is proud to contribute to the Queensland Literary Awards and enable new writers to achieve their goals. Congratulations to the Glendower Award winner, and I hope this award provides you with inspiration to further your writing career. Thank you.
The finalists are The Solitary Light by Bianca Milroy. Inspired by true events that occurred during World War II, The Solitary Light is a Gothic tale rich in love, family secrets and connection. Daddy and Other Father Figures by Jonathan O'Brien. This fine collection of stories is infused with humour and invites readers to reflect upon idealised conceptions of fatherhood. If You're Happy by Fiona Robertson. These stories display subtlety and empathy, revealing people at moments of change or crisis in the pursuit of happier existences. Without a Word by Jenny Rouge. This compelling and well-written young adult novel covers important issues such as bullying, drought and the country-city divide. As We Knew It by Shaul Waterbright. A beautifully written work of autofiction. As We Knew It delicately explores identity and solitude in a time of isolation and uncertainty. The Glendower Award goes to Fiona Robertson for If You're Happy.
Good evening. Reflecting on the previous acknowledgement of country, I too pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. It's a real joy to be part of this ceremony, joining writers from across Australia, as well as many others who have helped us as writers along the way. Thank you to those people in my life, and congratulations to all the talented shortlisted and winning writers tonight. I'd like to thank Jenny Summerson through the Queensland Library Foundation for her generous sponsorship of this award. The Glendower Award changes the lives of writers because of her great kindness. Many thanks also to UQP for their steadfast support of this award. I'm excited to work with such a prestigious and respected publisher. Finally, thank you so much to the judges and the whole QLA team. I'm stunned, thrilled and so grateful to receive this award.
Thank you, Jenny Summerson, and congratulations, Fiona. The next two awards are sponsored by Griffith University, the Griffith University Children's Book Award and the Griffith University Young Adult Book Award. Each winner will receive $15,000, and we thank Griffith University for its generous support.
Griffith University is thrilled once again to sponsor these two prizes, each worth $15,000, the Griffith University Children's Book Award and the Griffith University Young Adult Book Award. There's something special about books when we're young. They become encounters that stay with us for the rest of our lives. As a university, we're committed to creating a future for all. And we are particularly committed to the creative and the performing arts. We are home, of course, to Australia's leading literary publication, the Griffith Review, and of course have academics and students and researchers across these areas in the university. So, all the best to the shortlisted authors for your outstanding books, and we hope this award encourages young people to keep writing and to keep reading. Thank you.
The finalists are Detention by Tristan Banks, published by Penguin Random House. Visceral description, rising tension, and cinematic realism make Detention a sensitive exploration and a gripping thriller. Winston and the Wondrous Wooba Gymnastics Club by Tamsin Jano, published by Omnibus Books. A romp of energy, kindness and hope. This book is a joy from leaping start to perfect finish. Fly by Jess McGeechan, published by Penguin Random House. Words and illustrations interweave to craft a soaring tale of healing, marked by subtle humour, pathos and restraint. Nop by Caroline McGurl, published by Walker Books. Beautifully lyrical with stunning illustrations, Nop is an eloquent story about resilience, friendship and self-belief. As Fast as I Can by Penny Tangi, published by UQP. With pitch-perfect writing, Penny Tangi combines comedy with a serious take on dreaming big and accepting life's challenges. The Queensland Literary Award goes to Penny Tangi for As Fast as I Can.
Thank you so much for this award and to Griffith University for their very generous support. I've read the shortlist with my kids and we love them all, so I feel very lucky to be included. I'm very grateful to my publisher, UQP, in particular Christina Schultz, Claire Hume, Kathy Vallant, Jean Smith and my editor Melissa Keel. Deep thanks to my family, in particular my cousin Jacinta Laird, who shared with me her experiences of living with long QT syndrome. As Fast As I Can is about a girl whose Olympic dream suffers a big setback due to unforeseen circumstances. Although Tokyo 2020 was postponed, the book has felt quite relevant, I think, this year. Children have suffered a lot of setbacks. My hope for them now is that we as adults will choose a green COVID recovery to give kids the best chance to have dreams in the future. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Penny. Thank you also to Professor Scott Harrison for his introduction, and our thanks to Griffith University for sponsoring the next prize too, which recognises excellence in books published for readers 13 to 19 years of age. Congratulations to these 5 finalists.
Deep Water by Sarah Epstein, published by Allen and Unwin. Suspenseful storytelling with themes that resonate. Deep Water is a captivating mystery set in a claustrophobic small town. Ghostbird by Lisa Fuller, published by UQP. A tense coming-of-age story full of anger and forgiveness. Ghostbird captures the distinctive voice and landscape of regional Queensland. How to Grow a Family Tree by Eliza Henry Jones, published by HarperCollins. Authentic, messy and bold, How to Grow a Family Tree is a witty and nuanced narrative. It Sounded Better in My Head by Nina Kenwood, published by Text. Kenwood has crafted a character, Natalie, whose voice will entirely delight readers in her burgeoning journey of love and acceptance. This Is How We Change the Ending by Vicky Wakefield, published by Text. This Is How We Change the Ending offers the possibility of hope and change despite huge odds. The Queensland Literary Award goes to Lisa Fuller for Ghostbird.
I'd like to say thank you to the State Library of Queensland and Griffith University for this amazing award. I am so honoured to receive it, especially from my home state. I'd like to say thank you to the judges and congratulations to everybody on the shortlist as well. I need to thank you, QP. You guys are amazing, everybody there. And Christina Schultz and Katie Rowney, who are no longer there but are still amazing. I have to say a big thank you to Anthony Eaton, my supervisor. Your mentorship has meant the world. I need to say a huge thank you to my family, especially my aunties and my community. Could not have written this without your guidance and permissions. And I need to say a big thank you to my partner, Ben, for putting up with my insanity. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Lisa. The next 2 Queensland Literary Awards are supported by the Copyright Agency Cultural Fund. The first of these is the Judith Wright Calanthe Award for a poetry collection, which offers $15,000 to an outstanding published collection of poetry by an Australian writer. The Copyright Agency Cultural Fund also supports the David Unipen Award for an emerging Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander writer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adam Suckling and I am CEO of the Copyright Agency. For more than 4 decades, we have supported Australian creators. The Copyright Agency's Cultural Fund recognises the value of original creations. We are passionate about supporting writers, publishers and visual artists to ensure their work connects with readers and audiences. We take great pride in supporting the Judith Wright Calanthe Award for a poetry collection. Last year's winner was Alison Whittaker, for her brilliant collection, Black Work, a book that is sure to become a classic. I offer my congratulations to the 5 poets on the 2020 shortlist. We're also really proud to again support the David Unipen Award for an emerging Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander writer. The history of this award is long and distinguished, with past winners including Larissa Barrett, Ellen Van Neerven, Samuel Wagon Watson, and Tara June Winch, who has just won this year's Miles Franklin Literary Award. I'd like to thank this year's judges and congratulate those outstanding emerging writers. Thank you.
The finalists for the Judith Wright Calanthe Award for a Poetry Collection are Enfolded in the Wings of a Great Darkness by Peter Boyle, published by Vagabond Press. Peter Boyle's poetry is undeniably profound, sending out echoes in all directions that return as complete thoughts. Liar by Stuart Cook, published by UWA Publishing. Liar is animated, finding poetry in a Pacific green turtle, western clownfish, an eastern whitbird, and much more besides. Heidi by Pio, published by Giramondo Publishing. Frequently hilarious and always engaging, Heidi is a major work that continually calls into attention the myth-making impulse on which so much history is built. Throat by Ellen Van Neerven, published by UQP. Throat is a masterful, ambitious collection that goes for the jugular, that's raucous and meticulous, and will leave a definitive punk imprint. Nana Jungu Yagu by Charmaine Paper Talk Green, published by Cordite Books. This work is bold in form and moving, and uncompromising in bringing violence, suppression, and loving resilience to our attention. The Queensland Literary Award goes to Pio for Heidi.
I'd like to thank everybody involved in nominating me for this award, and in particular Ivor Indig and Evelyn Dewars at Giramondo, who for over 40-50 years have been a great support, and in particular Ivan, who had been wanting to do a manuscript of mine for a long time. I also like to thank my partner, Sandy Caldo, who went through the whole rigmarole and the whole agony of writing such a large book.
Thank you to the Copyright Agency and congratulations, Pio. The David Unipen Award for an emerging Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander writer has been a pathway to publication for dozens of writers in its more than 30-year history. Congratulations to these 4 fantastic shortlisted emerging writers.
The finalists are The Space Between the Paperbark by Jazz Money, a luminous, beautifully sculpted and seamless collection of poems that reflects on place and passion, offering a new perspective on remembering and forgetting. Valley of Cane and Crows by Boyd Quackerwoot. With compassion, strength and deftness, Valley of Cane and Crows examines the fallibility of human nature and its resilience in times of crisis. Last Rites of Spring by Michaela Saunders. This brave, breathless and ambitious novel journeys through the damages of the past, an oppressive present and an uncertain future. Burn by Melanie Saywood. Tackling complex plot lines and multiple narrative timeframes, Melanie Saywood manages themes of displacement and parental neglect with sensitivity and polish. The David Unipen Award goes to Jazz Money for The Space Between the Paperbark.
Yura Dumarang Indiga, Jazzu Nadi, Radri Baladu, Daragandangar Bangwana. I'm at home on the lands of the Darug and Gundungurra. I want to pay my respects to elders past and present, to my own Wiradjuri elders, and to all the custodians of the many countries that came together to make these awards tonight possible. I'm so incredibly humbled and overwhelmed to be receiving this award tonight. It's such a huge honour. I want to pay my respects to Uncle David and Iapon, for whom this award is named, and in doing so acknowledge all the incredible First Nations writers that are making history in this continent, now many countries, every day. Thank you. Thank you to the judges, to Copyright Agency, to the State Library of Queensland. Congratulations to all the other winners tonight, and Mandanguru. Thank you.
Thank you to the Copyright Agency, and a big congratulations, Jazz. The next award is the Steele Rudd Award Short Story Collection. We're very proud to reward and celebrate short fiction writers with the University of Southern Queensland Steele Rudd Award for a short story collection, offering $15,000 to a published collection of short stories by a single author.
The University of Southern Queensland is a world-class university offering flexible study options with education built upon diversity, excellence, collaboration and creativity. We are so pleased to support the Queensland Literary Awards and how they encourage creative expression, reward excellence and bring the Australian literary community together. The only award of its type in Australia, the Steele Rudd Award honours a short story collection written by a single author. It is named after Steele Rudd, a writer born in 1868 in Drayton, which is just near the university's Toowoomba campus. Past winners include Jennifer Down, Christos Troikos and the late great Elizabeth Harrower. The University of Southern Queensland is delighted to return this year to support this exciting prize. Indeed, 4 of the books on this year's shortlist are debuts. USQ offers its thanks to the judges and sincere congratulations to all 5 shortlisted authors.
The finalists are A Constant Hum by Alice Bishop, published by Text, an elegant collection of stories about the Black Saturday bushfires that weaves images of loss and hardship with stories of love and perseverance. Lucky Ticket by Joey Bowie, published by Text. Warm and lively, sharp and insistent. The emotional resonance and critical thrust of Lucky Ticket make it an impressive debut. The House of Yusef by Yumna Kassab, published by Giramondo. Yumna Kassab uncovers a world that is vibrant, difficult, loving, full of cultural negotiations, anxieties of displacement, and hope for the future. A Couple of Things Before the End by Sean O'Byrne, published by Black Ink. O'Byrne's debut brims with generous insight and incisive satire that doesn't hesitate to point out where our mistakes might be leading us. Here Until August by Josephine Rowe, published by Black Ink. This collection has a patient, dreamlike quality that effortlessly draws the reader into its moments of expansion and reflection. The Steele Rudd Award for a short story collection goes to Joey Bowie for Lucky Ticket.
Hi, I'm Joey and I'm so happy and so thankful to be receiving this award for my debut book, Lucky Ticket. I'd like to thank the University of Southern Queensland for sponsoring this prize. I shared some of the money with my family in Australia and Vietnam, and in Vietnam they're throwing a big feast to celebrate Lucky Ticket and the Queensland Literary Awards. I'd also like to thank my publishing company, Text, and especially my editor, Penny Weston, who is the best editor I could have had. And I'd also like to say I'm so proud to be an Australian author and to be shortlisted next to amazing authors that I admire. Thank you.
Our sincere thanks to the University of Southern Queensland for their ongoing support, and congratulations, Joey. The next two awards are sponsored by the University of Queensland. We thank them for their generous support of writers.
As one of the world's top 50 universities, the University of Queensland educates and inspires thousands of students every year across our 3 campuses. We've been a proud supporter of the Queensland Literary Awards for many years, and it is a privilege to do so again this year. The nominees for the University of Queensland NonFiction Book Award include an exciting and bold list of books written by a mix of established and emerging writers. The titles on the University of Queensland Fiction Book Award shortlist grapple with trauma and survival, migration and discrimination, art and kindness, friendship and love, language and heritage. It is a great honour for us to support homegrown stories in this way and to demonstrate our commitment to the communities who support us.
The University of Queensland Fiction Book Award has a prize of $15,000, and this year these 5 brilliant books are shortlisted.
The finalists are Act of Grace by Anna Crean, published by Black Ink. A confronting portrayal of conflict and its after effects. Act of Grace explores the legacy of war with intelligence and sensitivity. Stone Sky, Gold Mountain by Mirandi Riwo, published by UQP. Written with extraordinary compassion and insight, this novel grapples with racism, belonging and exile. The Returns by Philip Salem, published by Transit Lounge. Clever, funny and poignant, The Returns brilliantly mines the conflicts of ageing. The Adversary by Ronnie Scott, published by Penguin Random House. Utterly gripping in its particular strangeness, this novel about gay millennial life is moving and hilarious. The Yield by Tara June Winch, published by Penguin Random House. A literary love song, The Yield shines a light on the significance of words and the remembering of history. The Queensland Literary Award goes to Mirandi Riwo for Stone Sky, Gold Mountain.
I'd like to pay my respects to the Yuggera and Turrbal people, but also to the Western Yulungi people on whose land this book is set. Thank you so much, Queensland Literary Awards and the University of Queensland and the judges for this huge honour. It's been moving to have this glint of gold in the midst of such a year. Thank you to UQP and especially to my publisher Aviva Tuffield and Vanessa Palat and Louise Corniget, and much love and thank you to all my friends and family. Readers, I hope you enjoy meeting Miriam, Laya and Ying, characters I hope show how individuals can be found beyond prejudice and fear. This is a book about people who are exiled, who feel alone in this world, and that's a feeling I think many of us can relate to during this pandemic, whether it's from being locked down in our homes or perhaps feeling marked out as targets of hatred or blame. Books can give us solace in times such as these and remind us of the things we hold in common. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mirandi. The University of Queensland Non-Fiction Book Award comes with a prize of $15,000 and honours a non-fiction book on any subject written by an Australian writer. Congratulations to the authors of these 5 fascinating books.
The finalists are Bedlam at Botany Bay by James Dunk, published by New South Publishing. Using a rich array of individual stories about mental illness, this is a revelatory new history about the New South Wales colony. Olive Cotton, A Life in Photography by Helen Ennis, published by HarperCollins. Beautifully written and illustrated, we see Olive Cotton as a determined and essential figure in 20th century Australian art. Friends and Rivals by Brenda Nile, published by Text. An absorbing account of 4 female writers who achieved success and fame during the last century. None of it easy. Truganini by Cassandra Pybus, published by Allen and Unwin. Sensitive and unflinching, Truganini is a harrowing account of inhumanity, power and opportunism. The Watermill by Arnold Zabel, published by Text. With compassion, Zabel turns his eye to individual lives that resist the colossal forces of historic tragedy and find meaning amid the ruins. The Queensland Literary Award goes to Helen Ennis for Olive Cotton, A Life in Photography.
I'm so delighted to have been awarded this prize. My biography of the Australian art photographer Olive Cotton grew very, very slowly, and it does ask the reader to take their time with it. I'm so grateful to Olive for her wonderful work and for her friendship over many years. I'd also like to acknowledge the unwavering support of her family. Catherine Milne and the team at HarperCollins did a fantastic job in bringing this beautiful book into the world. I'd also like to thank the University of Queensland for their extraordinary support. Here's to the power of non-fiction and creativity, which is so essential for a healthy, flourishing society. Thank you so much.
Sincere thanks to the University of Queensland and congratulations to Helen. For the Courier Mail People's Choice Queensland Book of the Year, judges nominate 8 books by Queensland authors from the fiction and non-fiction categories. It's a special prize in the Queensland Literary Awards, where readers across Australia vote in an online poll to decide on the winner. Competition is always fierce, and in 2020, the Courier Mail People's Choice Queensland Book of the Year received the largest number of votes in the awards history. Congratulations to the 8 shortlisted titles, and thank you to the Courier Mail for its support.
Well, at the Courier Mail, we've been telling the stories of Queenslanders for 174 years, and so we're always proud to be associated with this awards night where we celebrate the significant and special achievements of people telling great Queensland stories. At the Courier Mail, we've nurtured some of the finest writers this state has produced, and I've been proud to call as my colleagues people like Trent Dalton, Matt Condon, Susan Johnson and Phil Brown, who's a finalist in this very category this evening. Congratulations to the 8 finalists in this category. Your stories cover such diverse topics as floods, birds, the goldfields of North Queensland and also Brisbane during World War II. Congratulations to you all, and thank you also to the judges for your hard work. At the Courier Mail, we are proud to be associated with the Queensland Literary Awards, and I hope you all have a great event.
The finalists in the People's Choice Award are A Lifetime of Impossible Days by Tabitha Bird, published by Penguin Random House. This touching and compassionate story about love, truth and self-forgiveness is run through with a dark seam of secrets. The Kowloon Kid by Phil Brown, published by Transit Lounge. Phil Brown's memoir is a clever, delightful and tender portrayal of growing up in 1960s Hong Kong that reminds us just how fast the world has changed. A River with a City Problem by Margaret Cook, published by UQP. An absorbing history of Brisbane river floods and the failure of human attempts to tame and manage powerful natural forces. Feeding the Birds at Your Table by Daryl Jones, published by New South Publishing. A lively science-based guide for city bird lovers looking to feed birds in their gardens or from their balconies. Meet Me at Lenin's by Melanie Myers, published by UQP. With the approach of a historian, Meet Me at Lenin's is an intriguing, plausible and relevant novel. The Breeding Season by Amanda Niehaus, published by Allen and Unwin. An atmospheric, complex and poignant novel that is as much about life as it is about death. Stone Sky, Gold Mountain by Mirandi Riwo, published by UQP. A vital retelling of Australia's gold rush history, this novel examines violence and racism with sensitivity and compassion. Hearing Maud by Jessica White, published by UWA Publishing. Gently and without ego, Jessica White weaves the story of Maud Praed together with her own, examining deafness as an expansive and complex concept. Congratulations to these finalists. The Courier Mail People's Choice Queensland Book of the Year Award goes to Tabitha Bird for A Lifetime of Impossible Days.
Hi everyone, I'm absolutely thrilled to win this award. I would like to thank my readers because without your votes I would not have won the Courier Mail People's Choice Book of the Year Award, so massive thanks to you. I'd like to dedicate this award to my grandmother, Nanny. Sadly, she isn't here tonight to see me win this award, but I know that she is up in heaven looking down on me and is incredibly proud. Huge thanks to my family, Matt Bird, and our boys, Isaiah, Cyrus and Daz. You guys rock. Thanks for your support. Thanks also to my extended family, the Bird family, and my friends, Jack and Karen. This award is also for anyone who has ever experienced trauma. If you know what it's like to be afraid to speak up, this award is for you. Let your light shine. Thanks.
Thanks again to the Courier Mail and congratulations, Tabitha. Please join me in congratulating all the winners and finalists. You can buy tonight's winners and shortlisted books from the library shop. A special thank you to the 37 judges whose hard work and careful consideration ensure the success of the Queensland Literary Awards. We are very grateful for everything you do. And thank you to the sponsors and partners who make these awards possible. The Queensland Literary Awards are supported through the Queensland Library Foundation. You can be a part of this celebration of literature and help nurture Australian writers at all stages of their careers. To find out more about donating, contact the Queensland Library Foundation. And thanks most of all to the writers, not only those who won tonight, but all of you who press your thoughts and experience and imaginings into language for the rest of us. Thank you for joining us and good night. See you next year.